Welcome back to the studio segment of the ESL India Premiership 2018 Summer Season Masters League A. I'm not trying to be cool. I really do have an eye problem, Rohit Pal and gang. I read your... See, you guys can't presume that I do not know what's happening. I read everything. I see everything. I'm like Brother Eye, which Batman created. And in fact, if you look at it, a lot of you would not know what Brother Eye is because, hey, you guys just watch movies and don't read comics. And that's the difference between you and me. Moving on. Problem in the eye, not being cool. Hence the sunglasses, right, Angie?
I mean, it's pretty obvious that you wouldn't wear sunglasses.
Yeah, I mean, nobody wants to wear sunglasses in a studio. Like, if I had to be cool, I'd wear an eye patch, dude. Like, if I had to be cool, yeah, I mean, that'll be there. But we have an interesting DOTA game lined up. We have Signify versus the Council from Bangladesh, ready to rev against each other. I've been told both the teams have been waiting for quite some time here. Yes. So let's quickly get done with the formalities of introductions. Let's start off with Signify. Alrighty then. In case you were wondering why we're like giggling gleefully, it's just that we were not being nice towards Team Signify. Yeah. I was just saying that Crowley looks like a metalhead gone wrong. No Chance looks like a DJ of a club. Negi looks like club bouncer. Swifty is like manager. Hey, come on, these guys are my buddies. They're like buddies. So they won't feel offended. But in fact, let's quickly take a look at the other team in question here. Team the Council. All right, that's Team the Council from Bangladesh. They won the Challenger 2 in Bengaluru back in 2016. Sadly, they made it till the finals in the winter season, but could not win it because, if I remember correctly, Crowley was playing for his old team there at that time. Yeah. He had some contract formality, so Crowley was playing there. Council lost to them in the Masters of 16, winter 16. After that, Council's not had a greatish run. They've been... Like, come on, I've seen Council up top and I don't expect them to be up bottom. And this time around, if I can bring up the standings of DOTA, I mean, if you realize, if you see these standings, this is not where Council's supposed to be. Even though they have a lot of matches in hand, they've managed to lose 3 games altogether. They've only managed to win 1. So they need to pull up their socks. Signify in a strong position, 6 games down, all 6 of them won, no losses whatsoever.
Beautiful 18 points for themselves on that board.
All right, so that's pretty much how the standings look like. Council definitely needs to move up. That's all I got to say. In fact, I've been informed by the production again that the draft is live.
I hope they go for the Chen.
I don't want to see an OD in this game. I don't know why.
I'm going to see
I'm fed up of seeing an OD in this game. I see a Pangolia. Oh, nice! Thank you, Deaths. If you have heard me through like God knows so long a distance, I guess like.
But I would like to mention that Signify, understanding that Council is very good on that Chen, going to just quickly ban that off the clock. Also, I want to mention in
this Zunoon is the reason. Zunoon is one of the great Chen players I've seen.
Also, we have just recently seen that DOTA got an update just yesterday in a 7.14. So
Techie is in captain mode.
Techie is in captain mode, definitely. But Dark Willow getting a nerf there. Witch Doctor getting a nerf. Terrorblade getting a nerf. So I'm going to be very surprised to see how this draft kind of pans out. We have seen the Witch Doctor so much in the ESL and
I'm pretty sure this, Angie, is going to be a standard pick. I mean, I'm pretty sure Signify would want to split push this out because Council has a very nasty habit of like being in the jungle. Like they're like the jungle team. You know, they are not like a lane push team. They like to gank from corners and do their shit. So that's how it is. But they still managed to pick up Witch Doctor there.
So the Witch Doctor, if people have not already read the update, now his Maledict is starting from a cooldown 50 seconds at level 1. It goes down in a cooldown of 50, 40, 30, and 20. So he's got to be a little afraid on Council. I mean, it's a risky pickup, but also a Maledict is used only in times of a kill. So if they are able to synchronize the combination with the Sand King, it could work beautifully for them. Meanwhile, Signify going to opt and pick up the Nature's Prophet and the Tusker. Tusker being one of their favorite fourth role supports also makes me think that they better ban out that Monkey King. Otherwise, if they do get Blizzard on the Monkey King, it's going to be a lot of good rotations coming in from him after 15 minutes.
Well, this Omni Knight has been banned quite often. In fact, I have hardly seen an Omni Knight in this season, like once or twice.
He's just recently become one of the top pickups because he fares very well against a lot of heroes. Plus, he's very sustainable in the off lane for himself. He removes physical damage, so it really works well against heroes that are very magically strong. And in this particular update of Dota 2, magical heroes have become very strong, whether it be the Witch Doctor, the Sand King, the Skyrath Mage. There's so many heroes to name. So the Disruptor, for example. So Omni fares well against that. Also, the fear of knowing that you can't really run into a fight if you have an Omni Knight in the backline, so kind of saves the team the discomfort of knowing that they may not be able to make it. For now, Council is going to ban off the Shadow Fiend, and Signify going to reply with that with a ban on the Puck. Good ban coming in there from Signify. Also, Council knowing that...
I like the tiny Pangolier bans earlier by the Council and the QOP, which has just come in now.
Yeah.
This QOP ban can change the destiny of this game into Council's favor, who desperately need more wins up their belt.
And this also makes me think that since the Tinker is not banned off for now, the Council do like to play a Tinker quite a bit.
Oh,
so
that's the Gyrocopter they've banned.
Gyrocopter, also another hero that the Council loves to play as a carry. So going to just quickly get negated over there by Signify. That also makes me think that they could go even for an Ursa pickup, maybe push this game early, not really opt to go for the normal play style. It could really work in their favor because sometimes if you play out of the box, it kind of makes a big difference. And against the team of Signify, you got to make sure that all your planning goes out of the box. But for now, we do see that the lifesteal is still available if the Council or the Signify want to pick up that pick. For now, we're going to take some time with this. This is a very important pick for Council. They could opt to pick up their offlaner for now. They could even pick up the Elder Titan if they like. Works well for them. They played that before. And Signify is going to mostly opt to go for the Pang. Pang has been banned, so the Dark will also be sent offlane.
You know who I'd love to see this game? A Morphling.
A Morphling. It could be.
A Morphling in this game. I don't know why. I have this very great feeling, this surge of inspiration that a Morphling in this game could turn the tides of the Council, because the strength Agi shift can work wonders.
I mean, but the only thing with the Morphling is that he needs that early game momentum.
Yes, indeed,
and Signify, if they opt to pick up something like an Earth Spirit, or they opt to pick something like even a Disruptor, it could be devastating for the Morphling. But Council playing it safe for now. Love that Juggernaut pickup as well with the Witch Doctor and the Sand King. They could have a very safe tri lane. Also, they're going to be against A35, who's going to be sitting in the off lane. So he's pretty aggressive in the early stages of the game. So this fares very well for them. Signify going to reply with a Lion. I love that pick. He is in the meta. He fares well. His Finger of Death going to make sure that at least one person is going to be taken down from the Council. Signify with the Nature's Prophet. I would like to talk more about this Nature's Prophet pick. I mean, he is going to be in the off lane. May as well. He knows that it's a very strong tri lane coming in there from Council. So he doesn't really need to sit there for long. He's just going to come when the creeps kind of reach his star. Going to take that experience, head into the jungle, get his farm going. Also, it also means that he is going to be rotating a lot in this game.
That's what I meant. Yeah. That's what I also intended earlier. I'm very interested to see the picks Council is going to make this time around, because Sand King and Witch Doctor pretty standard, even though WD has been nerfed after today's update earlier. So this is going to be a sight to see. Who do you think the picks could be?
I mean, I was hoping that Signify do go for the Lone Druid, because they are going into more of a split potential kind of lineup with the Nature's Prophet coming in, and I think the Lone Druid could fare really well against a lineup like that. Council going to pick up the Invoker. Now, I like that pick. A little risky, knowing that there's a Tusker and Lion who are constantly going to be there to gank him. Also, till now, they've not even picked up their mid, so it could be devastating if there's a Viper that comes against that Invoker. But for now, we're going to just give some time and see what they have in store. Signify just going to play it cool. Going to pick up a Wind Ranger there. I love that pickup.
I haven't seen a Wind Ranger.
It's the first time. It's the first
time. Yeah.
I think in a long time, it's the
Wind
first
Ranger,
time.
in fact, Lion also has not been picked that often. If you realize, a Lion, a Nature's Prophet, and Wind Ranger coming in from Signify. In fact, if you look at it, Invoker's not been played that much.
That much, yeah. I think he's been played in about 2 games. In
yeah,
ESL
like Wind Ranger is a first. So is a Lion, I believe.
If that's a mid-Wind Ranger, it's going to be a treat to watch. I mean, I've not really checked if she's got a buff in the 7.14 because I didn't really expect her to be picked. But like you mentioned, and congratulations to you on that when the Morphling gets picked up over there. And that's going to be Blizzard playing the Morphling from Signify. This also says that there's going to be huge ganking potential, huge movement on this map. Towers are going to be traded hard. And Council looking into their lineup, I'm noticing that they want to go into a 5-man push, and that is what they're looking at. But Signify going to make sure that even if they want a 5-man, it's all right with them. They're going to take down towers.
Diverse range of heroes which you're seeing. They've banned out the Magnus, they've banned out the Void, picked up the Morphling. And now it's up to the Council to somehow balance this entire equation out. I mean, they are in a dither. I was expecting Council to go with the Morphling, and there's, I think, has somebody rigged my microphones? Can the teams hear me? I have zero idea. How do they hear me?
No, the Morphling is definitely a great pickup. I mean, even for Signify, it's a beautiful. He doesn't really need that much of.
I like this pick. I like this.
Pick up
this
the
Undying is the first in the
I think
ESL.
the second. I think the first time it was played by, I'll tell you which team. I think Alpha Esports.
I think it was off-stream, if you remember.
It was off-stream. I guess it was off-stream, but I remember this pick being there in
but
the
Undying is a wonderful hero, one of my personal favorites in my own collection of heroes, I would like to say.
But I mean, I think both these teams have come in with the thought process of not really sitting and countering the other team. I think they've just come in with a very strict lineup that they have played a lot of times, especially the Council, since they are sitting a little low on the leaderboard. They are looking to confirm more victories, and we did see in the previous game of Counter-Strike, I mean, anybody as an underdog can be ahead and perform and even bring down the biggest and the best teams.
And and it has to be so. It's very imperative for a team like the Council to win this game so that they can maintain their hold in the Masters League. They are right on the danger spot. They don't have to be. They are good. They can make this better. And Undying in the game, late game also, the guy has too much of strength steal. And the ultimate is another headache for the opposition.
And I've also noticed that Council picks heroes that they are very comfortable playing. They don't really try, and like even the Chen and the Sky, we saw them last game, they are well versed with their heroes. So if they are able to pull off that draft, I think they could take this game longer than expected, even take this victory. Because, I mean, I'm not going to be biased to a Signify and say, yeah, they're going to take it. They may not take it.
I'm surprised Council didn't go with their staple Skywrath Mage. I would have loved to see the good
I think they just felt that Signify would have studied their draft before this, and that's why they didn't want to take it. But I'm very excited to see how this game goes.
Alrighty then, so then let's head off into the game. Vivek and Floki are already ready and waiting to cast this game. So over to you, gentlemen.
Hello folks and welcome back to the ESL India Premiership. My name is Vivek. With me in the studio today is Floki, and we got Signify facing off versus the Council. The Council, they've been looking strong. They looked particularly strong in their previous game when they had Len in their roster. This time they don't. And let's see if they have enough to take down Signify.
Oh yeah, Signify, one of those teams that have been at the top of ESL India Premiership time and time again. And the Council, I think they're one of the good teams who can contest Signify and sort of give Signify and ROG a bit of a run for their money. Let's see if they can pull it off in this game. I am excited to see what they can do. I do like the draft on the side of Signify a bit better. But with that said, I do want to give the underdogs a shot and believe that they can indeed take a game off of Signify.
Okay. As most of us should know, this is a new patch, and I think one of the biggest changes is that you can't pull the creep aggro for the first wave. Both of us had various theories on how this would pan out. I said we'd see more dual lanes. We are seeing a dual lane, but you had one theory with the Earthshaker.
Oh yeah. So if you want to play offlane Earthshaker, I have to cut
Lost Rider. He's got the fairy fire, but yeah, Negi got the
what?
I think Negi hasn't. No, Negi doesn't have an Orb of Venom. It's just him with the boots. And before the clock even starts ticking, Negi had no chance to draw first blood.
The clock has started ticking. It's 48 seconds into the game. But the problem is that Lost Rider turned back to get a last cast off for some reason, and that actually made sure he dies.
No, I mean, I think the point at which he turned back, he was already dead, but I'm not sure. We've got a mid Wind Ranger. I think Swifty used to play this hero a lot when she was more popular in the meta. I basically back then I remember Viha as the god of Wind Ranger.
Oh yeah.
And prior to that it was Light of Heaven. I don't know. I mean that was a different patch. Shackles were more broken. The shackle shot was more broken. One of the changes to Wind Ranger in this patch is that power shot for each level does around 10 to 20 damage more than it did in the previous patch.
Yep.
I might be getting the numbers a bit off. I think at least 10 damage more per level. Actually,
It's around 20 damage.
Check this right now. So yeah, it was 160 earlier, it's 180, then it was 260 earlier, it's 270. So they've done a little bit of math and they've buffed up the power shot.
Yeah,
I was keeping my eyes on this lane. Floki, this was supposed to be an aggressive try lane or some sort of a dual lane that was supposed to get active early on, and Jin just dies.
Yeah, so the thing about Lion is he's really good in these dual lane situations. Lion is a hero who has a stun as well as a hex, so he has tons of disable for these dual lanes, and 99% of the time, Lion is going to be able to win these dual lanes as long as he has somewhat of a competent carry to help him pick up those kills. And Morphling is one of those. Even though early game suffers a bit because waveform doesn't need the most damage, the right click is not to be underestimated at any stage.
Right, she's got some new potential with the waveform. The only stun that
How do you know it's a she and not a he?
I'm not going into gender politics here, Floki. I mean, there are people at Oxford and Harvard writing about that. It's not our cup of tea. But yeah, so Blizzard, she has got a fair amount of kill potential. Speaking of kill potential, Van with the bug strike, he's caught out Crowley. Crowley trying to run, still holding on to that earth spike. Has 9 stick charges, turns around, slows down the Undying. Van trying to look for that secondary bottle strike. Sunstrike will not connect, and Van doesn't have the range.
Well, he's gonna find the bottle strike because of cost stick.
He's actually getting the range, and he might get the kill. Crowley might just stick down.
Yes, stick. He's on the stick, and he will live. Well, okay, that was never gonna be enough. That like what, 10 damage? But still, this is a good space for Jin.
Yeah.
So that's the. Oh god, what's happening top?
I think so. Negi just sent his treants on the Witch Doctor and TP'd out in front of their faces, and they had nothing to really stop that.
I mean, Nature's Prophet is another one of those heroes that is really strong in these dual lanes. You have your treants that can just run at the enemy heroes, and if you don't have the right kind of abilities to deal with those treants, you're gonna suffer in the early game.
Yeah.
And generally, a dual lane with Nature's Prophet is always gonna turn out to be very strong. Doesn't matter what kind of carries you have. You always need a way to clear those treants.
I think he got spotted out. The shards are there from no chance. That's looking for a way out of here. The shards locking him up, not for long the treants. Not being microed effectively, and the cast will stop Negi and no chance from pursuing. Mid lane, I think Susmo isn't doing all that bad.
Yep, by no means. I think Susmo is actually going to start to gain the advantage in this matchup because he now has 2 points in Exhaust, 2 points in Quas. So with a pair of raindrops, he's going to mitigate a lot of power shot damage, and with Quas, he's going to be able to regen back up every single time they do decide to trade.
He's also got those 2 null talismans and the fairy fire.
Oh yeah, so he's tanking.
Yeah, up top we got another set of shots coming up from no chance. The greens are there. Lost Rider will run away. Death going in with the Blade Fury, but there's no real control, and he's being worked upon here. No chance. Has the shots coming off cooldown and 8. He start with the snowball. The Sprout not effective, but it doesn't matter. They get the Juggernaut. They do lose the task, but Negi might find himself another. The cast. Is it enough?
Yes, it should be.
Is.
It is.
It is. But I think when you're applying that much pressure early on the enemy 1 position and your Morphling's getting farm, I think that's absolutely okay.
Yeah, that's completely worth it. In fact, I think the idea from Signify is to sort of force Jin or at least the Sand King to rotate top and help out the carry. And I think this is what they should do at this point. Jin can't really get anything more out of this lane. I mean, he's level 3 now. He can somewhat hold on his own and just find levels.
Yeah.
Crowley.
There was a kill onto the Invoker in the mid lane. 50. Recognizing the fact that he needed help, but down got him. Crowley being run down here, has the Earth Spike in a face, the Ball Strike will control him. There's a Mango as well, and with the Soul Rip, they'll find the kill. Blizzard still manning up, has the Wave Bomb, and he should find the Sand King with the freeze, providing a bit of cover, but not enough. Both of them end up picking up the kill. They're sharing the gold for it, but Blizzard gets all the XP and Crowley's back in the lane. He's got the Hex, 2 points in the Earth Spike. Jin with 16 points of stolen strength might be tanky. He's got 2 1 charges, and Blizzard not wanting to pursue with the waveform, recognizing the fact that it is still the early part of the game and people do respawn quickly.
Oh yeah.
Again, main, no chance. The shackles setting up perfectly for the shot. But this one looks to turn, has the cold snap and the ice wall. The power shot absolutely off the mark with no chance. Still trying to force the issue with the snowball. So smart, chasing for that task, will not find it. The sigil also proving to be very helpful, but Van with the power strike, Jin with the soul rip, Swifty does end up falling as well.
Swifty had the win run. I'm surprised.
Crowley might just find himself a kill. Crowley, blind spike in the trees. No, he's not trying to take any risks today.
He's gonna die if he actually stays there. Oh wait, he goes back in. He might pay for it with his life, but Van doesn't. He does have the boots, so he could have gone for the battle strike in fact, but he didn't. So there's action all over the map. I'm surprised that Swifty didn't wind run over there. He had a cooldown. He instead went for the power shot. Might have been a misclick and costed him his life. Also, I want to point out that No Chance made a slight adjustment to this task build. He went for the 1 point in Sigil, which really enabled them to get that Invoker kill. If it weren't for the Sigil, the Invoker would have been able to run away and juke into the trees.
Up top, Negi.
Oh no.
Gotta be careful, the Maledict will wear off and No Chance realizes there isn't any kill potential. Just tries to go up on Lost Rider. Negi with the Strut doing it. Up quick Blade Fury, but Negi looking to TP back home, does make it in the nick of time. The Sunstrike will not do too much while up top. No chance.
Yeah, I think
Find himself some EXP.
I think the Sunstrike. Oh my god. The Wrath of Nature.
With the Wrath of Nature. Bouncing all across the map, securing that kill onto the Juggernaut, and this is not a happy place for them. Down mid though, another shaky shot coming up from Swifty. Good spike. Perfectly done there by Crowley.
No Chance is dropping as well. Where's No Chance?
Up top, No Chance. He's dropping low. The Sprout is there. Lost Rider. I mean, No Chance still wants to fight. He's gonna get himself a kill, get himself a killing spree, and probably with this snowball, he might just end up falling. Yep, that's had the Blade Fury long enough. He's gonna get the kill. That's a lot of gold going towards the Juggernaut, and he needed it.
Oh yeah, he needs it for sure. His laning phase has been absolute garbage, in all honesty. There's nothing that he's gotten out of this lane, apart from XP and a little bit of farm. Bottom lane, an attempt onto Blizzard's life is difficult. Yeah. He has one charges, he has waveform and the strength toggle.
2 mangoes also.
Yeah, I mean, it's summer season, mangoes are on discount, you know. So he's just gonna make the most of it.
Yeah.
Also, the efficiency play from Blizzard as well. He dropped all his items, toggled all over to agility, pops his one, and he's back at full HP.
F mid. Crowley just trying to set up on this without the point in Vex. Has no real chance of getting the hell out of that. Swifty making the most of his double damage run.
Wrath of Nature as well, actually. I think it was committed for that kill and it ended up dealing a lot of damage.
Oh yeah, up top, No Chance. He's an Omni Slash. Doesn't have anyone. Yeah, he's found the creep wave up top. He's gonna snowball towards that creep wave, and that's looking stupid all of a sudden, trying to run down. Doesn't have too many one charges. He's trying to run down No Chance, but No Chance pops his sal, has the sigil giving vision, and he's gonna have the shot in a second. Blind shot from No Chance. Does he? Yeah, he's gonna bring it home. Van with the Sandstorm buys himself right, but they got detection. Van, the offlaner from the side of Council, moves up top and ends up dying. No Chance gets himself a double kill. And look at this, Floki. The Tusk is more net worth than the Juggernaut.
I mean, Signify is just rolling over the Council. I think in the early game, it's safe to say that they have gotten completely wrecked.
Yeah.
I think the right course of action for Council is to sort of group up towards one lane and try to find a couple of kills. I mean, punish this Nature's Prophet and Tusk for doing overly aggressive stuff. That was the idea, but they came in one by one. And as a result, it costed them more kills. So it's gonna be another while before Council can really be an aggressive maneuver. Oh,
even
what?
Refreshing 50's bottle that No Chance has the shots. He doesn't give a damn about the Maledict. He's not even using the snowball just to dodge those Maledict instances. And Negi's gonna get the kill. They're getting themselves a tier 2 tower just 10 minutes in.
Yeah, I mean, this is classic Signify. 9k net worth advantage. And look at Blizzard. He just morphs back into the Undying and he's chasing Jin. Blizzard, he has the waveform, but he has to get out. He can't stay there for long.
Oh, yeah.
Man, that morphling animation while teeping out. Looks like he's drowning. So let's arrive to a common consensus. I think Morphling is a guy. I don't think Morphling is a girl.
Oh.
I mean, his voice sounds deep and manly.
Yeah. I guess. It has a little bit of strength to work with. What cancels his own TP?
Yeah, I mean, he was dead there either way.
Did he assume that Blizzard had a point in the rapid strike? I'm not sure.
I mean, he knew he was dead. There's no way he got out of this one, so he was like, why even try the effort to cancel this TP? I think that was But that does show that Jin is someone in an uncomfortable position. It does show that he's panicking slightly. Oh, snowball forward.
Oh
Boy.
I mean,
Strike.
all it took is a 4-position tusk, just throwing his life for that Witch Doctor, and comes and can't punish this.
I mean, I thought for sure that the Tusk is going to take that.
Here comes Ned. He's got the Blade Fury. They're committing for this task. They might need no chance with the shots. And we heard no chance buys himself. Time the shackles are there. Van needs that burn strike. No chance with the snowball. What is he going to do? He's actually going to with the ancients up top, and he's got Crowley to back him up. James still wants to pursue. Swiftly being patient on the back line. This is starting to get messy for the council, and here comes Negi. Van looks to move towards Negi with that burst, like the power shot is there. Van survives, so now there's the Omni Slash. They'll find themselves an Aegis Prophet, and with the Blade Field, they'll get no chance as well. The council starting to fight back. They've got the cold snap coming up from Susmai, and this should certainly be a death on the line. Swifty though.
Oh god, he's
still sniping kills every now and then. Finds himself the Sand King.
Wait, Jin doesn't have Tombstone?
Did you see Crowley drop his tranquil boots? I mean, I don't know what that was about.
Okay, maybe. Can we just toggle over to Jin and see if he has the point Tombstone? Okay, so he doesn't. So that's a bit of a problem early on. I mean, it's an awfully on time to say the least. So he is more likely to, of course, max out his first two skills, and likely so. First skill gives you strength. Second, damage and heals. Top lane though.
Yes, this boy caught in this crowd will end up point in Vex. Didn't get the time or the opportunity to invoke the Ghost Walk.
Yeah, that's not the way Susmai wants to be fingered, but
absolutely. Signify looking really strong. 12 minutes in, dominating the map and the council. I mean, if they want to win fights, they gotta throw bodies there.
Yeah, and Swifty even picked up his Blink Dagger now, so I think this was before. Okay, yeah, he's gonna go straight into the axe.
Oh yeah. No, Swifty.
He missed focus fire.
He missed the shackle shot. I think he's got the focus fire onto the Sand King.
Okay, yeah, he did.
And Negi might end up paying the price here. Jin comes in from the back. They've cornered the Nature's Prophet with Negi Shadowblade on DOTA. There's no way he survives. He's got the Sprout that's going to bind some time, but Susmai is there. They get the kill onto the Nature's Prophet, and they're chasing for more. It is no chance. And I don't think no chance has his Blink Dagger. He's got the snowball. He's moving on the Lost Rider. Quick power strike coming out. 2-man shackle from Swifty. No chance. With those one charges staying alive, but not for long. Susmai gets himself a double kill. But they did lose that here to target mid.
Yeah, I mean, they're getting all these kills, but they're losing towers and they're losing structures while doing it. And Signify yet to lose a single tower. I think we talked about this. I think I remember you mentioning that Signify versus Aggressive 5.
Yep.
Aggressive 5 had the same problem. They kept losing all the towers.
Yeah.
And I think you talked to Pasol about that. Pasol bounced back and somehow actually beat Signify.
Yeah, all credit to Pasol, man. He put in a lot of hard work back then. I've never seen in-game leader with so much drive since him in the Indian scene. I think back then, like just like we have teams now which have their. I'm going to get back to that later because down bottom 2-man shackle does connect on the range creep, not to heroes, but the council are looking to fight. They could try and punish Crowley on the line. They cut the Benedict. Crowley moves himself to a corner, cries himself to death, and Lost Rider. I think that's his first kill of the game.
Yeah, and Vengeanger as well, just watching from the sidelines, seeing his king of the jungle die. He is looking to go back and shackle shot.
Ambitious. 50's trying.
Yeah, Swifty is definitely trying. I mean, he's rusty on this hero. He wants to make sure that before he starts playing for those qualifier matches, he is on top peak performance on his Wind Ranger. And Wind Ranger, I think she might actually be back in the meta because of this.
I think the other buff that I forgot about is that your attack speed and focus fire has been increased.
Oh yeah, it's increased by a lot. 50, I think.
If I'm not mistaken, it's 100, but I could be wrong. I don't want to give away wrong numbers.
We can just have a look.
Because that's pretty much our country's budget for education. It's always a wrong number. But yeah, I think focus fire got changed, and then I think the other change was that the damage that you do in focus fire has also been buffed.
No, I don't think the damage got changed.
I'm pretty certain. I think so. I don't know.
Let's have a look at. Oh wait, just what?
You can pull out your phone and check. Hey wait, we got a nice shackle coming from 30%. The council want to fight across the bounce strike. They might find no chance. So close to his blink that was being channeled, and it is is clipping Blizzard on the Undying. They'll commit the Omni Slash. They're looking for the Morphling, but that Omni Slash ends up losing point. No chance will end up falling. The Deafening Blast doing enough. And Blizzard, controlled corner, has no choice but demand fight. He's walking towards strength. He's holding his ground. The Wrath of Nature bounces around. Blizzard with the waveform still alive. Both 4 positions end up falling. If it is indeed a 4 position, Sand King and Negi looks to run, but they have got detection. The Shadow Blade will not keep him alive. Nice Earth Spike coming up from Crowley. The finger committed onto the Invoker and 50. With the Split Dagger, once the Invoker they've got detection, he's chasing for Susmoy. He will probably find Susmoy, but the Soul Drift by time not enough. Susmoy will fall, and the Sprout sets up another shackle shot onto the Undying. Lost Rider, last man alive on the side of the Council, will fall as well.
I mean, Signify, they're rolling all over Council right now, but I do think that this 5-man Dota is not gonna work out for too long. I think they need to split up and get farm on Morphling.
Crowley has a 16-minute Blink Dagger. It's not like he's been particularly greedy.
He's gotten core kills, and he's gotten a bunch of towers. I think there's also the fact that he's probably getting bounty runes.
Okay.
So, yeah, I mean, Crowley with a Blink 16 minutes in. Can I have a look at Crowley's skill build? I think
he didn't put a point into, he's put 2 points into the mana drain.
Okay, so he's put 2 points. Okay, so he's maxing Hexa. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's the build. For a second, I thought he had 3 points in Spike and 2 points in Hex. Ooh, okay. That was close. Shackle Shot could have gotten him.
It was actually, right? I think Negi gave vision of the Sand King.
Yeah,
he could have gotten the Shackle Shot.
Yeah, but Negi, I think he moved out of vision and moved back in. So Swifty perhaps couldn't keep that off. Rather ambitious Roshan attempt, I want to say, but Signify, they do have a choice, so
yes.
That might be wrong. And yeah, with the focus fire, I completely forgot about this. Okay, that's... Roshan's
The
is
thing
struggling.
about the Rosh bait is that even though you might be inside the bait, it will just, like, towards the edge, you to attack those shots.
Yeah.
It's happened to me once. I think it happened because there were just too many summons in the pit.
Treants, zombies, all that kind of stuff.
Exactly.
Uh-oh, man.
I think Van might end up falling the power shot on point. Yeah, his blink is a pipe dream. 18 minutes in, I think around 1,400 gold is going to take a while.
That's not the position you want to be in for off-lane Sand King, to say the least.
Off-lane Sand King.
Yeah, off-lane, I mean, I think you should transition to the jungle, put more points in the Sandstorm.
A bit of a pickle there. Start of the Sprout, no chances here, not even needed. Negi just cleans up.
Yeah, Jin is not in a pickle, he is the pickle, and Signify eating him for breakfast. Oh god,
what do you get?
He got
Ice Wall and he got Ice Wall and Alacrity.
That's nice.
That is nice.
I
just goes in, gets the Earth Spike Shackle on to do. They try to break down the Evoker. First with the focus fire, they'll find so smart. Van goes in, drops the Sandstorm, but he's missing his mid laner and Signify. Holding the ground. Blizzard drops one last Ice Wall.
Oh, he's dropping fairly low because of the Maldex actually.
I mean, he's got one charges.
He's got
the buybacks coming out from the Council. It seems as if they want to fight. They have lost their tier 3. They fought back. And they're struggling to really punish Signify.
I mean,
Jin looks to run in, so Smoy giving chase as only the threads and a couple of non-challenges. They might find Crowley, there's Swifty, the cold snap upon Crowley, they'll turn towards the Undying, there's Signify, who's getting a fair amount of help from the Witch Doctor. They should find no chance, does end up falling. Crowley drops the finger, but he dies as well. Signify, they have found others on the backline and they're looking to clean up. They move towards the Witch Doctor, they'll bring down Lost Rider and Jin. He's all by himself, but buybacks coming up from the side of the Council as Sand King does end up buying back. Now the Juggernaut has buyback as well, but Deaths isn't committing it. Blizzard going into the enemy base. He's still got the Aegis, but he's got to be careful. He doesn't have the mob, so he can't morph into the Sand King, and he doesn't need to. The Earth Spike coming up from Crowley, they've got enough control. They will manage to break down the Sand King in this point. PB boys.
Yeah, he's speaking alien language at this point. Signify have beat him up so much that he can't even pronounce words properly. Well, I do want to say that Council have put up a valiant attempt. I think they had a really good idea in the dual lane with the Undying and Sand King.
It was, but it didn't work. I mean,
yeah, they had to go into damage control mode a bit earlier, I think, with the Sand King.
I mean, they're still fighting though. They might find Crowley. The only one they end up finding off. If Blizzard gets the clean one, it's huge. Lost Rider blocked by the shards, no chance. With Snowball looking to go in, he is going on the Juggernaut. And with that Adaptive Strike, they've got the damage. TP is coming in. It is Jin TPing in, but he's missing his Sand King and his Juggernaut. and he ends up cancelling his TP. Signify, claim another lane of balance. Crowley blink forward as the X-Loss Rider holding his ground, channeling the death. One quick Earth Spike though to interrupt it, and he finds himself coming. Chain control in this crowd. His mana being removed by that mana drain, and some power shot from 50 will clean him up. Tornado, Sunstrike. I mean, the Invoker is just throwing his spells, but isn't doing too much with Signify really.
Yeah, sort of a greedy draft here coming in from the council.
Greedy?
I mean, in some aspects, yes, I want to say that. Because offlaner needs some farm to come online. Invoker is not going to come out like minutes. Juggernaut as well into the lane. And Signify just rolled over them in the lane.
I
think they lack
don't know,
the ability to win their lanes, to be honest. I mean, Juggernaut inherently doesn't win a lane per se. Sure, he can provide kill potential, and in some cases that might be winning the lane. But in dual lane situations, I mean, you need to have more resistance.
Oh no. I've met these people in my matchmaking circuit, and they're the worst kind of cancer. The ones that know that they've won, camp your fountain and keep killing you time and time again. They're worse than the kind of people who are spamming Avengers spoilers here in chat.
Yeah, I mean, these are the worst people. I mean, these people are worse than first pick invokers in my bracket. And mind you, I played Ancients, really.
Yeah, first pick Invoker. I mean, you're no more in that bracket. You've gone way past it, but yeah, my bracket.
Oh, my bracket as well. I mean, I've had those people, but enough about my bracket. Let's talk about theirs.
Are holding the exact same spot on the map, and they, I mean, it's
just this right
this corner.
Next, yeah.
Whose Observer Ward is that?
Yeah, that's Radiant's Observer Ward. That's the Observer Ward of Signify.
Wait a minute.
Okay, I mean, I think Signify is just trying to boost their stats so their profile looks better at this point, so that people don't contest them when they are for carries and cores. I think that's the plan right now.
That people don't contest them when they ask for?
Roles and stuff. I mean, you know how sometimes people then they go on your profile and then they say,
okay.
oh, you don't have farming, or you don't have
happens to players who are on the leaderboards.
I don't know, man. It's Southeast Asia. Anything can happen. But GG is gonna get called, and looks like that's the end of that. Yeah. Well, Signify, just once again a masterclass performance, rolling over their opponents.
Did you get that?
No, I don't know what Pride Ultra is.
I mean, I'd love to tell the story, but it's something to do. So, Council, along with Akash and some of the players from Signify, one of the first teams to take part in the ESL India Premiership, and one of the only teams that have taken part across all 3 editions. It's just something that Death likes to eat, and we have a good old laugh about that every time he comes to the LAN. Signify, they're going to end up winning today. I'm still hoping that Council does manage to coast through and come to the Mumbai LAN finale. It is only phase 1 of the summer season, folks, but this is the end of the Dota 2 broadcast. I'm Vivek, with me was Floki. You can find us, lovers, like us, hate us at facebook.com/vivekcasting or facebook.com/FlokiDota.
And that's it, I think.
I think that's it. I'm going to throw it over to the panel. Angela and Wagish. Waiting to hear your thoughts on this one.
We're back again with the studio segment of the ESL India Premiership 2018. Thank you for that sign-off, Vivek. All right, well, this was not the Council's day indeed. They tried, but I think the Invoker got mooched off early game.
Yeah, I mean, there were a lot of things. I mean, yes, first of all, even in the draft, I want to mention that Invoker wasn't really a pick you go up against, even if you're playing. I mean, it's ESL India Premiership. You know your teams are going to be massively strong against you, and you also know that the person you're playing up against is somebody who's on the leaderboards. So you got to play something that even if you're not very good at, you have to play it safe. And I think even a Viper would have fitted better for them, because an Invoker needs 18 minutes, and knowing that a team like Signify is known to finish games within the first 20 minutes, you don't want to take that risk. And seeing a draft where you already have a Tusker who's going to be roaming a lot, you have a Lion who's dedicated to just roam around the map and take down kills, it was a very risky pickup taking that Invoker. But you know, like we saw last time, they picked the Chen, they picked the Skyrath, and it worked in their favor. So very well this time also, I assume that, you know, Invoker would be the choice. At the early game, I would say Council played really well. Whether we talk about the first 7 to 8 minutes of the game, we saw that in the top lane there was a good rotation coming in. The Juggernaut and Witch Doctor holding their ground very strongly against that Nature's Prophet and Tusker. But because we saw that the top lane was doing okay, Tusker just went mid. And once you have an Invoker who's died more than 3 times, his net worth is way way below in the charts. I mean, sits on a 5th position. It's kind of hard to come back from there. And it's kind of hard to come back from a team that is so strong. And Signify in general, I mean, playing very objective DOTA coming in there, they did take down towers. And we were having a discussion in production that, you know, to a very massive extent, Morphling is left alone after 9 minutes, and we see Crowley always going mid. The reason that they don't really opt to take a tower very early in the game, Signify as a matter of fact, is because they want to give Blizzard that 15 minutes. He needs that 15 minutes to get the basic farm. And whether your opponents decide to take down Blizzard, or it's a choice. Either you take down the 4 other heroes of Signify or you take down Blizzard. And that is where Signify has always taken the cake, because both the times the victory comes in from their end, because even if 4 of their heroes are down, Blizzard is ready to take the fight by himself.
This Balaji Ram Narayan is a threat to a lot.
He's a threat, and I've watched him play so many times that after he gets his first item, and a lot of carries even in pubs, they think that once you get your first item in 15 minutes, let's farm for the other, let's farm for the third, let's farm for the fourth. But this is one thing that I've always seen in Signify. You pick up one big item at 15 minutes and then go with your team. Your carry is the most important player, and if he comes into a fight, you can finish any game in 20 minutes, because the strength is in that first role who has been given dedicatedly 15 minutes to do his job. And props to the rest of the team. I mean, Swifty playing the Wind Ranger, he did miss a few power shots in the early game, but later I did hear that there was a buff on the power shot, and later in the game his Shackles was just fantastic. Negi playing really well over there. But Council, they got to be a little bit more careful and study the teams they're going up against, because most of the teams that they are playing are very hard to defeat. I mean, at the end of the game, the net worth was 26k. The top 3 net worths, top 4 if I'm not wrong, were all dedicated to Signify. So that is something where you just differentiate experience in tier brackets between 2 teams. And I think Council is a brilliant team. We've spoken about them before, and I think they're just not in their form as of now, and I'm hoping to see whether they come back much stronger the next game.
All right. Well, that sums up today's Dota 2 game there, and that also objectively, like the word she used,
Yeah, it is objective.
ends today's edition of the ESL India Premiership. But we'll be back again tomorrow with more CR, CSGO, and Dota 2. But for today, this is all we have. I'm your host, Vagish Gotsleban,
and I'm Zara Angela Gonzalez.
And we'll see you again tomorrow, same time, same place. And don't forget to press the bell icon on the right-hand side of the YouTube channel page you're currently watching us on, so that you don't miss any further notifications. And also, Starter Cup 3 registrations are on. My social media personnel has informed me that I need to mention this. So, Starter Cup 3 registrations are on. You can be part of the big and amazing ESL India Premiership. This has been brought to you by Omen by HP, HyperX and Intel, and presented to you by Nordwind Gaming and ESL India. We'll be signing out now.